This is not financial advice. I just tell you a bunch of them, Miss Baby, because it's about to get hot in the kitchen. Let's talk about it. The first banger on the list is BMNR, BitMine Immersion Technologies. It's currently $60, and we have been absolutely killing this one. I'm talking about the rinse and repeat king. I'm going to show you what I'm looking to do next for our fourth rinse and repeat on this one. But remember, investing carries risk. You can lose your money if you don't know what you're doing. So make sure you talk to a licensed financial advisor in your area. BitMine, ticker symbol BMNR, is currently a $60.06 stock. It's up 20% in the last week alone. And I want to give a whole shout out to the family, the people who were able to get my trades and lock in on this. And I want to show you something. We got into one, we made 18% on that. And then we got in again, made 39% on that, and then got in again and made 63% on that one. So some of them we buying the shares, some of them we buying calls, some of them we're selling put options, and we working this one every single way to literally squeeze every dollar out of this cash cow that is BitMine Immersion. Why are we interested in this? The cryptocurrency Ethereum is what BitMine Immersion is based on. So they're trying to become what they call a cryptocurrency treasury or an Ethereum treasury. So they want to house and hold so much Ethereum that they could use that basically to back up their business. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency that can be found on Coinbase. It can be found basically anywhere that crypto is sold. And it's currently $4,500, but it's very near the all-time high levels in the grand scheme of things. So if this can break out and they own a good portion of Ethereum, then their Ethereum holdings and value of their company is very likely to push up right along with it. So when we look into the data on Ethereum, it has a market cap, meaning if you add all of the Ethereum up together, of about 500 billion. Now, something like a Bitcoin has already hit over $1 trillion. It might even got close to like 2 trillion. What does that mean? The cryptocurrency space, even for something like Ethereum, still has room to grow. This thing could double very easily long term, but you got to know what you're doing. Let's look at the bottom where it says all-time high of about $4,900. Once you see Ethereum tapping back into that and then starting to hit your 5,000s, it's very likely to try to push up to about 7,500. Now, Ethereum will likely push up, but something like a BitMine is very likely to move at a faster rate than even Ethereum, because it's significantly smaller than Ethereum and they hold a lot of it. So these things play hand in hand. We're down 7% from the all-time highs on Ethereum. So that's really not that far off in the grand scheme of things. And the S&P 500 just hit another all-time high. This has to be like the 20th, if not even close to the 25th time this year. So the markets are steadily screaming higher and higher and higher. And if you are not getting money in this kind of environment, where we've been in a bull market for basically 2 straight years, then you rolling with the wrong team. And I want to encourage you to join with us so you can get in with the winning team and stop feeling like you're missing out on your destiny of being financially free and financially wealthy. How are you going to get there? You got to put in the work, family. I'm like the coach. I write up the play, but you got to run the ball. Let's look into some more information. One thing I like about BitMine is the leadership. They're led by a person named Tom Lee. I encourage you to look into Tom Lee. He's been accurately calling things time and time again. Nobody's ever going to get it 100% perfect, but he's been doing it on a very public stage, and he's one of them running the company. And they're saying that Ethereum is entering into a macro super cycle for the next decade. And this is why they're spending billions of dollars to accumulate. Let's look at how much Ethereum they currently have. As of a few days ago, September 15th, which is the last one that they got on record, and they got over 2.5 million Ethereum, not $2.5 million, 2.5 million Ethereum worth $9.7 billion. And when you look at it, they're saying that their strategy, like I told you, is to be an Ethereum treasury and to hold the significant portion of the whole supply of Ethereum. And if they have that, this is going to help them to be leagues above any competitor that they have, which is already the case. So they're in their own lane and they dominate the lane. And I often tell you, you're looking for industry leaders. You're looking for the ones of these companies that are doing something, but nobody can compete with them really. Those are the ones that are going to make a lot of money. And here's another stock that you can find on your Moomoo: Webull, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, all of them. And this is APLD. We've been in this one since it was about $8, $9, even $7, and now it's hitting $20. So I want to salute to everybody that been following us and been loading up on these kind of things and making a whole lot of money. The last buy alert that I sent on this one wasn't that long ago, and this was to pick up even more of the shares and just simple buying shares, not even stock options or anything. Straight up buying the shares for about $12. And look, boom, we already up to $20 again. I've been also doing options on it as well for my people who want to squeeze every single dollar out of this play, which we've been doing and dominating that too. But check this out. On a day, she's up just about 1%. However, on the last week, 10%. She's just pushing and pushing and pushing. You wondering why? And Applied Digital, they finalized a new 150 megawatt lease with CoreWeave. What does that even mean? In plain English, I told y'all that the future is about artificial intelligence. Since we know that artificial intelligence, they need to have what they call data centers in the background. Your brain is your data center and it's in your head. But the artificial intelligences, their AI is run on these giant computer systems. That's the data center. They build a whole building and it's basically just giant computers in there. And they feed this information from your phone when you're using ChatGPT or you're using Grok or you're using Gemini or any artificial intelligence chatbot. They send it to the data center, it processes it, and then sends you an answer right back. But one thing with artificial intelligence that we're having today is it's not immediate. It's not instant. It takes time for these things to think. So since we know that nobody wants to wait for anything at all, then artificial intelligence, the demand is going to keep being higher and higher and higher because it's still not instant. And then when the answers come to you instantly, then you're going to want them to be more accurate. You're going to want them to be able to answer specifically really, really quickly. So we know that the demand to make them better is still going to be insane. And every company, your Metas, your Googles, your OpenAIs, your Microsofts, all of them are battling to get the fastest and most accurate AI so that they can have the winning artificial intelligence system. And when they have that system, more people are going to use it and they're going to be the leaders of the space. And like I told you, you want to invest in these leaders. Why? Because they are trailblazing it and the stock prices are pumping right along with it. So where are we looking at APLD? And again, I can't tell you what to buy or to sell. So I mean me, at 17, because this is where the institutions loaded up on it last. They didn't load up on it crazy there, but they loaded up on it last there to play it back up towards about 20. And the other spot is about if it came down there, because it's the stock market. These are stocks that you got to watch. They're not just straight up Microsoft like that or Apple where you can set it and forget it. If you get into BitMine, you got to watch it like a hawk. If you get into something like the APLD, you got to watch it like a hawk. It's just the way that it go. So this one, $13, we really like it there. $17, we also like it there. Because this one is easy, a $30 play, but it's just going to take some time. It's going to take more of those data centers and contracts with these companies like your CoreWeaves, like your NVIDIAs, to be handled out in the background. APLD is currently a $5 billion company. It sounds huge, but in the grand scheme of things, like I told y'all, other companies, they're $1 trillion companies. This one ain't that big. So this one can easily run up like crazy upon them hitting these milestones. So family, let's make some money with these. If you don't have 100 shares of APLD at a low price, I encourage you to do your research on it so that you can see if it's worth building up when the price is right. Because you know me, when I see a price I like, I strike. If you want to get some free stocks, use the Moomoo link in the top of the description. You'll also be supporting the channel. And if you want to get my trades, I'll see you over there. I'm putting the link to that new website that I got up right in there too. And I want you to take a look at it. I'll see y'all, family. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.